Cheers. I've gone through so many changes. I hardly recognize myself. Yes, what was important before doesn't seem to be so important anymore. I've been taking in a lot more videos from different quarters. Two things that seem to be very important to me at the moment is the influence of extraterrestrials on the planet and on our history and what we've gone through over the millennia. The evidence is really everywhere, but we don't seem to be able to recognize it or at least acknowledge it publicly. But there are many videos now coming out, and there have been whistleblowers like Eric from Daniken and Praveen Mohan at the moment that are showing to us about the different breeding programs and the different things that have been basically put in stone for us to recognize at this age. And it could be that now we are also moving into the area of genetic manipulation. Well, it's been happening for quite a while, and that's part of the same story. And the AI is also a part of the extraterrestrial programs. We really have no idea how far it goes. It could be on other planets in the same system, or it could be on other planets in other systems, could be in other dimensions, could be in other timelines. For a long time I felt it was not okay to talk about extraterrestrials because I felt I had contact with them about 50 years ago when I was in my early 20s. And they did, I was pregnant for 3 months without giving birth. I didn't get any checks, but my period stopped for 3 months, and I had abductions before and after that time. It seemed to be so hard to talk about it at all. It's a little bit like talking about Sasquatch or things like that, where you feel you're going to be taken for a fool if you talk about it. And then I found out that many women have had these experiences, not in my immediate environment, but in when you look on Project Camelot and places like that, where you find that many women have let people know that they were part of these things, that they experienced these things. I would like to go back a little bit to my life in Cherryville, which was when I was about 22, 23. So yes, 50 years ago. And just before I heard of Meher Baba, my master, that I accepted then. I think in the end we are all meant to be masters in our own way, but it's good to have support and teaching on the way. It's very helpful. So yes, I believe that the Greys made an agreement with the humans, and they were allowed to abduct and use make experiments of biological nature and use people for hybridizing. And I believe I was part of that for a little while. When I came to Meher Baba, I feel he stopped that, and that was quite a relief because it was certainly wasn't a pleasant experience. But I made several paintings about it, and I will show you those. So yes, I feel eggs were harvested and hybrids were created and then implanted in the womb for 3 months, and then they were taken back to the hive or to the spaceship or the mothership, where they were further developed into hybrid beings. And I don't know what's going to happen with the hybrid beings. So that was their plan to come into the earth with hybrids, because they were not really fully allowed to interfere with the earth. And since the hybrids have human signature to some extent, it's a bit of a grey area. It's a bit like an open border problem. Yeah. So later on in my life I asked if I could be shown the hybrids that were my children, and in a sort of a dream I was shown them. They were very skinny. They appeared to be sexless to some extent, and it was like their skin had a film over it, like a sort of a plastic or almost like a rubber glove, but then all over their body. And that was their protection, and they didn't have any further clothes, it seemed. So quite different from us. And there was no real feeling between them and me, even though I wanted to see them because I was curious about it. And I was feeling that it's strange that I have children somewhere else, which, well, I have 3 children on this earth, which are born the normal way that humans do. I heard a few little snippets that I thought were interesting. One was that apparently they liked the German race, or the Aryan type race, and I do have German ancestry. I was born in Holland, and my parents were Dutch, but my grandmother was German. So I don't know if that made me somehow more eligible for alien abduction and for breeding program. It's possible. And I also heard that that when people have an aesthetic, they can wake up extremely upset and very angry, which probably has to do, in my understanding, with the sense of violation that happens to them when they are paralyzed and maybe they are more or less conscious. And that happened to me when I was around 6 or 7 years old. A few abductions happened, and I would wake up extremely angry and screaming in my bed. And I said that the pirates had taken me. So I felt that was probably to do with them, because they paralyze you when they try to take you away. So it's nothing to do with free will. It's really it's a theft. It's a violation of the code from our earth, where we have free will, so to speak, free will, and the positive forces will always wait for us to ask for help, or to ask for, or to give our permission to for certain things that we agree to. So if we don't give permission, and we're not in our right mind, or we are not able to give permission, this is not okay, and that is probably why some of this is being coming to the foreground now, that all this has been done without permission of the people from Earth. Even though they say that some aliens went around the back of President Eisenhower and signed contracts with people from Earth, leaders, but the thing is that these leaders did not take into consideration individual freedom. It was considered that if they said that was okay to farm out the humans, then that was okay to farm out the humans. And we could be used as cattle or test animals or things like that. I hope that people who have similar experiences will be able to come forward, or to support each other in the big changes that are coming up now. God bless, and have a wonderful day, and take it easy. Okay.